I'm here with Cory Baldwin from Roush Fenway Racing. Cory is the front tire changer for Trevor Bayne in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series and Elliot Sadler in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Thank you for joining us, Cory.
Appreciate you guys coming out.
So, the Coca-Cola 600, biggest race of the season?
Oh, most definitely.
And I know, it's a long race, a lot of stops. How do you prepare for a long race like this?
Well, it starts about 2 days before, really hydrating yourself up, getting plenty of rest, what you need, not putting too much stress on your body, because we're going to be doing 12 13 stops tonight. It's 600 miles. It's a long race. It's warm out, so you're going to be sweating your butt off all night, and a lot of work tonight.
Oh yeah. And you pitted for Elliot Sadler yesterday in the Xfinity race.
Yep.
How is that different compared to changing for Trevor Bayne in the Sprint Cup Series, based on just the difference of the car?
Honestly, there's really not a big difference. The only difference there is in the setups of the cars. The nationwide cars are typically a little bit more difficult to pit because of the setups, how they have the shocks droop out and whatnot. But when it comes down to the bread and butter of everything's the same. It's good, solid stops all day, all night.
Get the lugs tight.
Get them tight. Yep, that's right.
Describe what goes through your mind when you hear Bob call on the radio that you guys are about to come through for a pit stop.
Well, the initial response, when he goes, "All right, boys, we're coming in this time." Your heart starts beating. You get that exciting adrenaline then kick in. You see him, look down pit road, see him. You see the nose hit the cone, and you hear the spotter calling, 4,300 second gear, your heart's racing. You got that, everything's pumping. But once he gets about one box away, when you hit the ground, you're in the zone. You're there, you're out there to do your job, and it's funny because you do it and you kind of forget about stuff that goes on. It's only 12 seconds, but it all happens so fast.
You go into a different state of mind.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, awesome. You're there, but you're not.
Awesome. How has it been to work with Trevor Bayne over the years?
It's been cool. He's a really cool kid, outside and inside of the car. He wants the best out of us, as wise we want from him. Get him, give him what we can and the best we can. But he's a really cool guy. Probably one of the coolest drivers I've worked with so far.
Awesome. And of course, you didn't just show up on the scene in the NASCAR series. Describe to us actually how you became full-time racing for Roush Fenway.
I actually went to a pit crew school in Mooresville, North Carolina. It's actually called Pit Instructional Training, and there they do just all over-the-wall training, tire changing, tire carrying, jacking, fueling, everything. And I started there in 2008, and I believe in 2009 I got scouted by one of the Roush coaches there that took me aboard, and I went through the developmental program through Roush, and then in 2010 I got hired full-time to work at the Cup Shop here in Concord, North Carolina. And pretty much it's the history's from there. I went through developmental, I did some low-end deals, and I worked my way up through, nationwide, and now at Cup now.
So, I know a little bit about it, but tell us about the night you got your big break.
Oh man, that was a wild night. Very, very humbling experience too. But 2013, Justin Onstead, changing fronts for the 99, got hurt. And they called me in to do the fill in for him, and of course my first competitive pit stop with a new team like that was All-Star qualifying.
One of the biggest races of the year.
One of the biggest deals, yes, and that's the coolest part of coolest qualifying deal they have for us, where we actually do a live pit stop, and we make a big difference in that. So yes, that was pretty wild. I was very nervous. Probably the most nerve-wracking pit stop I've ever done, just because them guys are capable of being one of the best out there.
Yes.
And I didn't want to be that guy that messed it up. So, luckily all of them took me under their wing, and just, everybody said the same thing. Like, look, man, what you do is fine. Don't do anything more. Let us take care of the work. And that's what I did, and we sat on the pole that night. So it was really, really, really cool.
It's not a bad way to end your night when you end up in victory lane on your first stop.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's very, like I said, very humbling experience. Actually, it was the first time Jack Roush, he actually came to me in victory lane and shook my hand and said, "Son, you had a lot of pressure on you tonight."
That's a pretty humbling experience when Jack Roush gives you that high of praise, isn't it?
When Jack Roush does that, correct, yeah.
That's awesome. And I know that pit crew members, it's a high demanding job. You have to stay at the top of your game. Describe for us a little bit what your workouts are like, your meal preparation, how you stay hydrated for a long, long night like this, 600 miles at the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
We'll cut the beer out first, but no, okay, so through the week, at the shop we work out 4 times a week. We do 2 days of lifting, 2 days of cardio. Outside of work, I do a lot of CrossFit. That's a lot of functional movement for us, what we do, and I believe that keeps me on top of my game also. I do try to eat really healthy, try to cut out my carbs and whatnot. I just drink a lot of water, and then also...
A lot of Advocare Spark.
Also, yep, well, not the Spark, but the Rehydrate.
Okay.
Awesome Advocare product, Rehydrate. Keeps us going, throughout the week and whatnot, and it keeps us hydrated up and ready to go. But yes, my favorite before the race would be either my Spark or my Slam. That's my pre-race ritual.
Okay. And with NASCAR's new rule implementation where the lug nuts are self-policing, you basically have to go on the word of the tire changer. How does that change your job based on where there was a NASCAR official standing there making sure that you hit all 5?
It's a little more difficult because, before we could get away with having 4 on there and the officials may or may not call it, but now, since the teams are gearing towards doing less with more, so to say, you really have to make sure, like when you're tightening up the wheel, make sure you have good hits, strong hits, make sure you're getting the wheels tight, make sure your carrier's having the wheel flat for you so you don't have a loose wheel. Because, you take that extra lug nut out of the equation, now you have 4, that last one may or may not be tight. Now you're looking at 3, and 3 don't normally survive, especially here at Charlotte, a 1.5-mile track. It don't really survive.
No, it doesn't.
200 mile an hour in the corner.
Oh yeah, a lot of torsion on those
wheels.
During a pit stop, as soon as you go over the wall, maybe you hit a couple lug nuts. How fast can you tell if you're going to have a great stop?
It's all feel. It's all muscle memory. If everything feels good and coordinated, you just carry on to the next stop. Get off the right side really good. Normally, it's going to pop off really good.
So you start off well, it flows right.
Yep.
Okay.
Hitting the nuts off, carrier, putting a tire on, all that stuff.
So, you've hit the big time. Full time in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. What's the next step for you after this?
Well, I like to think I could be very successful and be known as one of the best out here on pit road. I have big shoes to fill, so to say. There's a lot of great guys out here, a lot of great teams, but it's fun to compete against them. After my tire changing career, I like to think I can have a pretty safe place in the shop. I work in the fab shop now, so hopefully I can climb the ladder a little bit more through there and do a little bit more, and we'll just see what this journey takes me.
Awesome. So throughout the week, your job is a lot more than changing tires. Can you describe for us a little bit like what you do as far as preparing the car to come out here and run 600 miles?
Yeah, definitely. So like my week, I'm normally off Mondays and Fridays just because I travel Saturdays and Sundays. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, along with all the pit stop stuff, I'm in the shop. I work in finish fab. So that's, we do like a lot of minor details, putting the car, putting parts on the cars, making parts, whatnot. Pretty much just button her up before it gets shipped off to the mechanics or the paint shop to get its final assembly, pretty much.
So, how soon are you planning a trip to Victory Lane with these Advocare guys? I know you guys would love to be over there.
Oh, we're chipping away week in, week out. We're getting closer. The car's getting better. Trevor, we're figuring out what Trevor wants. So, I'll say we're knocking on the door. We're not too far away from it.
I can't wait to see it. And again, thank you for joining us, Cory. This has been an awesome experience, and good luck tonight in the Coca-Cola 600.
Thank you, man. Thank you, buddy.